We're still at the first question, which is, what does God expect of me? Second answer, God expects me to respond through social justice. Social justice, it's a phrase that is very much associated with advocacy. An advocate is someone who helps the underserved, who helps their voice be heard. You know, it's amazing that when you think about our society, the voice of the poor often go unheard. The cry of the victimized often is so silent to those who can make changes and bring healing for them. What our response is, like Nehemiah, he did sit down and weep and mourn and fast and pray before God, but then he realized that he had to respond more than being compassionate. He had to respond through social justice or advocacy. And verse 11 tells us how he did that. It reads, "O Lord, let your ear be attentive to the prayer of this your servant and to the prayer of your servants who delight in revering your name. Give your servant," speaking of himself, "success today by granting him favor in the presence of this man." You ever talk to someone and they're speaking to you like you know what's in their mind and you don't know what in the world they're talking about? Well, when we speak to God in prayer, sometimes we don't have to even articulate what we mean. He understands. And so here's Nehemiah saying, God, give me favor before I go before this man. He never says who this man is, but we conclude this man is the king of Babylon, Artaxerxes. And we'll learn that in chapter 2 in a moment. But what Nehemiah was saying, God, I'm praying these 4 months, I have this deep compassion for my people back home, but I now need to provide some measure of advocacy or social justice. They are poor, they are emotionally spent, no one hears them. As I get ready to go before the king, give me favor for this man, a man of power. That time, Babylon, which King Artaxerxes was king of, was also ruling over Jerusalem and Judah, and so where the Israelites were, and so they had conquered them in war. So those individuals, those Jews, were now indentured, so to speak, to the people in Babylon, particularly the king. And so Nehemiah is working within the court of the king of Babylon as a slave, as a cupbearer, but he now is saying, God, give me favor that when I go before this man, he will grant me my request. Advocacy is when you allow the voice of the voiceless to be heard by the people in power. Nehemiah was about to use advocacy as a strategy in response to the question, what does God expect of me?